Ciao, come stai? Tutto bene? Benvenuti, io si chiamo Palosi, io sempre sono qua a spiaggia, io sono lavorare al mare. Allora, oggi sono bella giornata perché oggi c'è bassa marea, posso andare insieme a vedere stella marina, la stella.
Wacha hapo sasa, umesema nini?
So contagious, yeah, baby. Yeah, your love is so contagious, contagious. So contagious, yeah, baby. Yeah, your love is so contagious, contagious.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Afriforex video. If you're new to this channel, remember to smash the subscribe button and also remember to hit the thumbs up button on this particular video, and also remember to hit the bell notification so that you do get notified anytime there's new content on our channel. So basically we're going to be picking it up from where we left it off. Remember that this is the second part of what 5% know that 95% don't. This is the second part of it. Hopefully you did enjoy the first part of it. Especially towards the tail end, where I was learning a bit of Italian, and also at the beginning of this video, just trying to learn some Italian. Found some beach boys who actually know a lot of Italian. Actually, that was one of very many beach boys who actually know Italian. Very many of them actually are more fluent in Italian than they are in English, which is quite surprising, and I find that extremely intriguing. So I should actually even start off this video by saying ciao, come stai. I've been trying to learn a bit of Italian. I'm sure the accent is not yet fully there, but I'm sure if I were to stay here a bit more, then definitely I would know. I don't know if there are any guys who are watching this particular video and you join us from Malindi, or you're watching this and usually in Malindi. Do you know how to speak Italian? Seems like it's the local dialect here. Seems like a lot of people do actually know it, from what I meant to understand, but it's actually quite an interesting language. So we're going to be picking it up from where we left off. Today is Friday evening. There's been a lot of activities. Actually, it's Saturday. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm a bit confused. It's actually a Saturday evening. Just picking it up from where we left off yesterday. So we're going to be talking about the remaining 5 aspects of what the 5% know that the 95% don't. So point number 6 is, if you want money, then don't think about money. And I know that this is gonna sound absolutely ridiculous, because you actually came into Forex so that you can actually end up making money. So when you're told to actually not focus on the money so that you actually make money, it doesn't make sense. But the main thing here is you need to focus on the process. If you end up focusing on the process, remember the money is a byproduct of you getting the process correct. Professional traders don't focus on the money, they focus on the process. How are they going to be executing their trading plan in terms of entry, money management, and exits? You know, the money is a byproduct of what your process entails. So make sure that you actually get your process correct. You know, don't really focus too much on the money. Unfortunately, 95% of the people focus on the money, and that's the reason why they actually can't get the money, because instead of focusing on the process, they're too focused on getting, you know, the money. So if you actually end up taking out the money aspect, try and see whether your trading plan actually works. If it does end up working on a small account, I can guarantee you that it will be working on a big account. So if you don't really want to be stuck in a rut, make sure that you do focus on the process. The money will end up coming as you continue moving along and as you continue perfecting your process in terms of trading. All right, so that's point number 6. Point number 7 is professional traders and 5% of the market, they do know that the markets are never wrong. And what does this mean? You know, when people normally end up losing, they usually end up blaming the markets, they blame the brokers, you know, it's everything else except themselves, you know. But professional traders accept the fact that the markets are never wrong. If you're wrong, then there's possibly something that you did wrong, and you actually go down, sit down, go back to the drawing board, try and figure out, you know, what it is that you've actually gone wrong, so that you can actually improve, you know, on the next trade and moving forward. So they actually do accept that the markets are never wrong. Unfortunately, very many people do end up blaming the markets, blaming the brokers, or this and that. You know, unfortunately, many people do end up giving up, and of course end up being stuck within that rut of, you know, constantly just shifting and jumping from broker to broker, you know, because for you it's never your problem, it's always other people out there. But if you can actually accept that when you're wrong, you're wrong. Can I try correct the situation? Let me see if I can. If you cannot, then that's why you actually go and seek for help, you know, for someone who's actually gonna help you in terms of, you know, trying to figure out what you could be doing wrong. But the markets are never wrong, and professionals do end up knowing that the markets are never wrong. So you just go try and see how best you can end up adjusting your trading as far as you know, forex trading is concerned. All right, so that's point number 7. They do realize and they do accept that the markets are never wrong. So point number 8 is professional traders do end up measuring their success in terms of percentage, not in terms of money. Okay, because remember, if you want to actually end up making money, then you need to get rid of the emotional attachment to the money. Look at returns in terms of percentage, not in terms of money. Of course, when the returns do end up coming, the money is going to be in regard to, you know, whatever it is that you had in your account. But try and figure out if you can actually end up measuring your success in terms of percentage. That way, at least you will try and see whether you actually end up making significant gains. Because if you end up focusing on the money, and I'll give an example of, let's say for example, when you're trading a small account, let's say you're just trading an account with $200. Of course, professional traders don't trade with $200, but remember, the mindset is what really matters. So if you're trading with an account, or even let's say $100, if you're trading an account of $100, and let's say you end up making on a particular day you end up making $2, it seems like nonsense, but you've actually made 2% of your account. You know, if you keep on doing that and you end up compounding and repeating the process over and over again, eventually the results will end up coming. Unfortunately, many people just want to end up flipping an account, you know, from $100, you actually just want to jump all the way to $10,000, and that's when you'll end up getting your satisfaction. Make sure that you do look at it in terms of percentage. If you make $5 on a $100 account, that's 5% that you just did. Do you know, if you were to do 5% of a $10,000 account, how much are we talking? $100,000. If you can just get the process correct from the very onset and just keep on compounding that effect, you know, over and over, then eventually the money will definitely end up coming. So don't look at it in terms of money. Don't look at your success in terms of money. Measure it in terms of percentage, and you will actually see that you're actually making gains. And if you can actually shift your focus, then you can actually end up becoming much better. All right, so that's point number 7. Point number 8 rather. So point number 9 is professional traders and 5% know the best times to trade. I know that in the daily analysis we always talk about 10, 3, 4:30, or depending on when, let's say the daylight savings do end up shifting the times, and they end up moving up by an hour. Over and above doing those times, it's also good to know in terms of your own psychology, when are the best times to trade. Like for example, if you ended up having a bad morning, or let's say something's happening in your life, what is the effect of that on the charts? When you're angry, for example, you should not be trading. When you're overexcited, you should probably also not be trading, because maybe that every time you trade when you're overexcited, you actually end up making so many blunders on the charts. Okay, so it's a matter of not only the times, but also trying to figure out, based on yourself, what are the best times for you to actually end up being on the charts, and what are the best times for you to actually not to be on the charts. All right, so that's more or less like homework for you. From me, just go try and figure out what are the best times for you to actually end up trading, over and above the market times that we always do end up pointing out. So try and go figure out your edge, figure out your psychology. But that's going to be something that's going to come up if you actually do end up doing some journaling. If you end up realizing that, especially if you're journaling well, then you will realize the times when you do end up making blunders on the charts, and the times when you do end up winning. What's your psychology like? And you will figure out what are the best times. All right, so point number 10, last but not least, is that professional traders and 5% know how to hang on to winners and cut losses. Unfortunately, 95 do the opposite. When they start winning, they cut their wins very soon, but they do want to hang on to losses longer than you should. And that's unfortunately the reason why you find that so many people do end up moving backwards. So you should actually be hanging on to your winners, of course, by managing your trade even as it's moving in your favor. But make sure that you always cut losses quite fast. And I'm sure that for those of you that have come to our live trading sessions, you've seen that we never really take full hits when it comes to taking the trades execution. If the market is not moving the way we want it to go, you don't really need to be sitting there waiting to actually get a stop loss, or a full stop loss as we would call it. I know that sometimes even some of you who are watching this video have possibly been in the habit of actually moving your stop losses further, because you think that you are right and you should be right. And actually this goes back to point number 7, where we talked about the markets being wrong. So you are trying to put impose the fact that you should be right, and that's the reason why you're moving your stop losses wider. So make sure that you don't really do that. Cut your losses, but let your winners run. If you end up doing that, then at least there's a possibility you could actually end up joining the 5%. So I guess that's pretty much it. Of course, for those of you that did end up missing out on the earlier part of the other 5 that we did discuss, make sure that you do watch the first part of this video. And of course, feel free to reach out to me, jbulgwa@afriforex.com, if you do have any questions. And of course, feel free to plug in on any of our sessions. There should be a link in the video description that has all the links to all our resources put there together. Now, there was a conversation that was going on earlier between me and my friend Balozi, who I met at the beach earlier today. You can actually check it out, the full conversation. It's actually quite hilarious. But hopefully we'll see you in the next video. So until next time, cheers guys, and bye for now. May the peeps be with you. God bless.
Eti wasema hii itwaje hii?
Coco da bere. Questo si chiama coco da bere.
Coco da bere.
Sì. Questo sono noce rare. No, sono noce rare per the tree.
Trini?
Mti. So, nakuanzia. Ciao. Come stai? Tutto bene? Benvenuti. Io si chiamo Balozi. Io sempre sono qua a spiaggia. Io sono lavorare al mare. Allora, oggi sono bella giornata perché oggi c'è bassa marea. Posso andare insieme a vedere stella marina, la stella.
Wacha hapo sasa, umesema nini?
Hiyo nasema leo ni siku nzuri, umekuja wakati mzuri kwa sababu tuko na hiyo reef ambayo ni fast reef. So unaweza tembea na miguu, unaangalia starfish, ballfish, sea cucumber, wale wanyama ambao bado wako alive. So karibu sana kwa sababu leo kuna wedding ya starfish na morena. Kwa hivyo karibu sana. Hiyo nasema hivyo.
Sasa mimi nikisema nataka kukunywa hii nasemaje?
Wewe unasema oggi volevo bere da coco da bere. Wewe unasema Oggi, se oggi.
Oggi.
Oggi ni leo. Volevo.
Volevo.
Bere coco da bere.
Coco bere.
Coco da bere.
Coco da bere.
Coco sì.
Coco sì.
Sì ni So sema. Oggi.
Oggi.
Volevo.
Volevo.
Bere.
Bere.
Coco da bere.
Coco da bere.
Sì.
Sasa siwezi rudia yote, lazima nifundishe.
Oggi.
Oh, itwaje sema
Mimi
jina
naitwa
yako? Balozi. Sema na Kiitaliano.
Balozi. Io mi chiamo Balozi.
Mia?
Mi chiamo.
Mi chiamo.
Mzungu anaweza kukwambia come ti chiami ni kukuuliza jina. Kama what's your name? So nakuuliza come ti chiami?
John.
John, yeah. Sasa nakuuliza come ti chiami? John. Dove abiti?
Hiyo ni kusema nini?
Unaishi wapi? Nairobi. Dove abiti?
Nairobi.
Da quando settimana?
Hiyo ni masaa, unauliza masaa.
La settimana ni nakuuliza ulikuja lini? Hapa?
Thursday ni lini na Kiitaliano?
Thursday. Thursday ni Alhamisi.
Na Kiitaliano itaitwaje?
Lunedì. Venerdì.
Your love is so contagious.
Yeah.